minute early, but here we are, ready to start exactly at 12 noon, punctual, how to talk to anyone. And today we're looking at, I'm going to pull back the curtain and reveal the conversation playbook. So this is a LinkedIn Live, and I'm also streaming this to YouTube, checking right now to make sure everything's good. We're a minute in. If you're listening live, go ahead, do hashtag live. If you're listening on repeat, hashtag repeat. Let me know. I'd love to know. Hope you're all here, ready to go. This is a light lunch. I'm running these every Wednesday, at least through the end of September, packed with really valuable stuff, but short and concise because we all have things to do. So I'm going to try and keep these to like 20, 30 minutes. And today is, again, how to talk to anyone. 5 keys to unlock any conversation. September, it's just around the corner. And that means new groups, new projects, and a whole new season of opportunities. And today our topic is one of my favorites, how to talk to anyone. Even if you hate small talk, you're not alone. And this is going to help you out. During the session, we're going to dig into proven techniques. I'm going to give you proven techniques so that you can successfully keep a conversation going in the direction that you want. So not like randomly going into a slow train wreck, but really going in a positive direction that you feel good about. And I'm also going to be talking about how to revive conversations that either have just like died and you need to resuscitate them, or they've taken a wrong turn and you want to get them back on track. So if that's interesting to you, this is the right session to be listening to. So yeah, taking conversations that taken a wrong turn and you end up into these topics that you don't want to talk about or don't want to hear about because it's uncomfortable, strange, or you don't want to go there for whatever reason. We've all been there, right? So I'm going to show you how to get it back on track. And why is this important? Because at the end of the session, you're going to walk away with the knowledge and the skills to know exactly what to do during the next meeting, conference, or social gathering, because they're coming up. Everything's kicking back off in September, and I want you to feel prepared. But who am I? And why should you listen to me anyway? Hi, I'm Elizabeth. I'm a verbal branding expert helping busy professionals to reclaim their voice, build meaningful connections, and get to yes. Get to yes. What do I mean by that? Yes to confidence. Yes to the career you want. Yes to new clients, contracts, promotions. Yes to the friends and social group you've been dreaming of. Because conversations, I mean, that's not just professional stuff. That's social stuff, personal stuff. Even with family, I mean, these skills are helpful, right? Talk about conversations taking a wrong turn. Been there, done that. I've got something for you, right? So yes to all those things you've been thinking of, dreaming of, longing for, waiting for. Yes. Sounds pretty great, right? So let's dive in. Because conversations, connections with others is like the key to get there. I'll talk more about that in a minute. So this is a live event, which I mentioned already. So comment with hashtag live, hashtag replay, let me know. Leave a comment, bring your questions. If I say something and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, that's crazy talk, let me know. Drop a comment, let me know. And I'll do my best to respond here or directly after the session, because sometimes streaming in 2 places, I don't see everything all the time. And it looks like I'm getting a green bar sometimes again. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We just have to. Anyway, we're going to keep going. We're doing our best here. So let's talk about the proven habits you can use right away. So this is not something for 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 3 years down the road, or even 2 months down the road. And you can start right now. They're simple, they're easy, and you can just tuck them into the way you naturally speak, the connections you already have, to see an instant impact. You can use them right away to navigate those muddy waters of like, Elizabeth, what am I going to say? Or rise above the murkiness of awkward silence. Get out of that. So in this 20 to 30-minute session, I'll show you exactly how to move beyond meaningless small talk and build authentic connections. Connections, that's the word. Still adjusting to the braces. I got a few questions about that. Yes, my braces are new. And why did I get them? Oh, that's a whole story. I have some YouTube videos about that. If you're interested, send me a link. I'll hook you up. Answer all the questions. I have a lot to say about that. But yeah, building authentic connections, even with someone you've just met, all without feeling awkward, sounding fake, or selling your soul. We don't want to do that. Authenticity, be you. So you've just met, you've started talking. Now what? So this guide, or this conversation playbook that I'm pulling back the curtain on today, is for successfully keeping a conversation going and reviving conversations that have taken a wrong turn. If you're interested in my other discussion, another topic, it's the companion topic to this one. The companion piece is the 5 pearls of wisdom of how to talk to anyone, which is how to start, lead, and end conversations. I'll give you a link for that article right here. There's also a LinkedIn Live, or just ask me and I'll send. I'm sharing like that. So here is the, here's the article. Ooh, not written well. Elizabeth, you should have like had these pre-written out and copied beforehand. That is a really good tip. I will think of that for next time. Right, so let's go back to where I was. So this is, if you're just joining in now, we're talking about how to talk to anyone, 5 keys to unlock any conversation. So here we go. And I got my numbers. I got my numbers today. My phone's going to run out of battery. Awesome. So number one, I'm going to teach you, you want to be a question master because you know the psychology behind which questions to ask. So what does this mean? Ask great questions. Okay, thanks, Elizabeth. What are great questions? Right, great questions are the how and why questions. These are questions you want to ask to pull the stories out of others. Maybe you want to prep some interesting questions before an event or a meeting or a family gathering, wedding, and so that you can put the focus on the other person. Most people love talking about themselves. So if you're not sure what to say, if you don't want the focus on you, if you're in a group and you want to get some conversation going in a direction you want, have some questions. Let me give you an example that open up. We want to have open questions. As an example, do you like where you work? The answer is yes or no or kinda. That's it. That's it. That's the end. Yes, no, kinda. Done. So what's your favorite thing about working at this company? Okay, now there's going to be a plethora of answers coming. What is your biggest struggle, or what do you anticipate your biggest struggle will be coming up in Q4? All right. And how do you anticipate Q4 will play out for you? Or had a wedding, something more social. I'm pulling off the fly here. Yeah. Any how or why question, like how did you come to this event? I don't know. Why can be tricky. If that's usually if someone says something, you can follow up with a why. If they explain, I made this decision. Oh, why? Tell me more about that. These, again, are questions to pull the stories out of others. So we're avoiding the yes, no questions and more into the how, why questions. And as I said, if you want to prep some interesting questions before you go to an event, ones to kind of have in your back pocket, ready to go to pull out whenever you need them, here is a personal tip from me. Also prepare some answers for yourself, because if they turn the question back on you, you want to be ready with an interesting answer. And so it doesn't fall flat with a, I don't know what to say. You should know what to say because you prepared the question. Right. Good. Number 2, if there are any questions about this, go ahead, leave a comment, let me know. Yeah, and I'll read it out. Number 2, this is the magnet rule. The magnet rule. Ooh. So here, for these how can I say? This rule is when you're already in a conversation. Again, this isn't to start a conversation. This is about guiding a conversation once you're in it. And here I encourage people to look for likes. Look for likes to reveal and strengthen commonalities. So this is a goal to trigger the know, like, trust response. And this gets very close to my comments earlier about getting to yes. When people know you, when they like you, when they trust you, it's a lot easier to say yes. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But here, the magnet rule. When I say look for likes, these are commonalities or things that you notice they like to talk about. You want to tease this out. You want to ask questions about it. Lean in, be interested. And by encouraging people to open up and talk more, this is again putting the focus more on them, not on you, and creates a good atmosphere. It lets you get information from them that you might want to know, and it helps them develop a closer sense of connection with you. Even if you're not saying anything, you're showing you're a great listener. We're going to move on. More questions. So a lot of these are questions and putting the focus on the other person. Number 3. Ooh, that's reflective. There you go. Number 3. There's my keyboard. These are revival questions. Revival questions. So this is if you're in just awkward silence, if maybe there have been a few attempts from different people in a group setting or in just between two people to spark some conversation and it falls flat. Or when a conversation takes a wrong turn. We mentioned this especially for family events. When it's going a direction you maybe don't want it to go. These are your solution, revival questions. And I always like to keep these in my back pocket, like an emergency life preserver. I can pull out and save the day. Because here we're looking to save a conversation that has died or just completely change the direction that a conversation, if it's taken that wrong turn or a bad turn. And the goal of these questions is to dig for stories. Are you catching a repeating theme here? Because I certainly am. Let me just double check. It looks like no comment. Good. All right. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Now these revival questions, and I'm going to give you three main types of revival questions. The first one is for a group. When you're in a group situation, this can be professionally in your professional sphere, in your private social sphere, family, whatever. Family, maybe not so much. But the question is, so how do you know each other? This is a great question at a wedding or baby shower or even a hobby, anything like that. How do you know each other? When there's a group of people gathered together, a conference, maybe people say we just met here, which is fine and interesting, or they met here at a different dinner the other day. Yeah, how do you know each other? It's a great opener, especially in a group setting. The second category is individual. So now this is just two people having a conversation, and you want to totally change gears. You want to just upset the fruit basket, spark conversation, get something new and positive flowing. Because again, this is a proven approach to spark new conversation flow, and that's these revival questions. In an individual situation, eyeball rub, individual context, when there's just two people or small group, you can ask, what's your story? Everyone has a story. What's your story? The trick is, this question is so open that most people don't know how to respond to the question. This used to be one of my favorite questions to ask because it really just throws people off guard. It's not, so what do you do? Where do you work? So, what's your story? And many people respond by asking a question. So, what do I do for work? Or what do I do for fun? They're confused. They're not sure what you're looking for. That's okay because just by how they ask that question, just by how they respond, gives you information. You can listen to the tone of voice, their expression, and go with which one you think they would prefer to talk about, which one they'll be more likely to open up about. That's right. We're putting, again, the focus on them. And usually, in my experience, when asking this question, you can expect to get this question back. So think about what answers you want to share too when someone asks you. So, what's your story? Right? You can really take this in any direction that you want. And that's what I love about it. And the third revival question that I have is asking for advice or tips or advice. And I mean, for this one, I had this. I mean, everybody wants to be a consultant. Everyone that has been through an experience or hears about a problem, everyone wants to give advice, give their 2 cents, give their insight, either from their own experience or hearsay. So, whatever it is, everybody wants to be a consultant, I found. I'm not saying you have to take their advice, but it's a great revival question. I experienced this personally. It was phenomenal how well it worked. And I was on the receiving end of the question. It was mid 90s. And I was in China, in the interior of China. And with my school group, and we went to an English corner. And what it quickly translated into is each of us US students, we were on an exchange group, were surrounded by 10 to 20 Chinese students. And they were just doing rapid fire questions at us. What do you think of the US president? What do you think about political things, about social things, about technical developments? It was a brain fry. I mean, I've never been asked so many questions at once. I felt like I was in a news release, but I was unprepared and I just thought, oh, English corner, we'll go and chat. One woman in the group, so again, I was surrounded by many, and there were so many questions, and she asked for advice. She asked for advice for her personal life. I think it was, I don't even remember the question. The impact is what I remember. She asked something about, I think there was a friend drama of, wanted to come there. It was some complicated situation. And she was stuck and she didn't know what to do. So she asked me for advice. We didn't know each other. This was the first time I met her. Why did she ask me? I don't know. But the question broke through it engaged my brain because here was a problem to solve. Not what's my opinion about X, Y, and Z, but here was a problem to solve. And my brain, the psychology behind it, I wanted to solve it. I wanted to find a solution. And we actually, broke through the crowd. We engaged and then we talked about it after the English corner was over, and we dug into it and I got more details. And then we became friends. And I'm still in touch with her today. So how awesome is that? Ask for advice. Number 4, if you're just joining in now, hi, I'm Elizabeth from Talk with ECM, and these are the 5 keys to unlock any conversation. So you can talk to anyone. And we are now going into number 4. Number 4, this is the mirror technique. The mirror technique is something I suggest to go deeper. And this is for those of you who hate small talk. Yeah, this is to go deeper and move beyond meaningless small talk. It's a pretty simple concept. Let me get a drink. The mirror technique, a mirror just reflects back my image, right? The mirror technique means to mirror what the person just said. Repeat to go deeper. So if someone mentions something that interested you, repeat it. Repeat it back and ask for more information. I'll give you an example sentence. For example, if you're talking to someone, or if I'm talking to someone and they mention, I went to Croatia last weekend and went camping with some friends. This is a gold mine. This is a gold mine. I see 3 options just from the top of my head here. Croatia, I can ask about that. I can repeat that back. Camping, that's a whole world. I happen to be interested in camping. If you're not, you can also repeat it back and just be like, camping? Really? Or last weekend. Last weekend? Why would I repeat that back? Here in Vienna, last weekend was super hot. Topic of heat, the weather, environmental changes, coping mechanisms, survival. So it depends on what direction you want to take the conversation in and why. That's on you. So here's the sentence, and I'm going to really break this down for you and get into the mechanics of how I would do this in a real situation. So again, the sentence is, I went to Croatia last weekend and went camping with some friends. 2 approaches. 1 could be a question. Oh, you like camping? So this type of mirror, all I did, I could even say, oh, camping? This type of mirror can get people to open up in some really powerful ways. If I hear that and I said the sentence, for example, I went to Croatia last weekend and went camping with some friends, boom, now I'm going to say everything I think about camping. And I'm going to say maybe my struggles, how I started, maybe my approach, my insider tips, just by you saying camping. The second way I might use this sentence is with a statement. The first one is a question that puts the focus on the original speaker, the one who said it. The second one is a sentence, and this is when I want to take the focus back to me. And maybe I want to shift the conversation in a different direction. I don't want to talk about what they did last weekend or their friends or camping or anything. But I want to shift it back to, hey, I want to sell you this product, whatever. So I'm going to do a statement. So for example, let's see, again, I'll repeat the first statement. I went to Croatia last weekend and went camping with some friends. My statement response, wow, I haven't been camping in so long. It must have been great. It reveals something about me. It shows this connection point or something we have in common at least, and it's a smooth transition to shifting the focus back to me, to what I'm saying. So I'm taking more control of the conversation here. Now you might be thinking, but Elizabeth, this is still meaningless small talk. You said you were going to get us out of meaningless small talk. I agree. But is this meaningless small talk? Or is this establishing connection points, strengthening the relationship, and triggering that know, like, trust response, right? And trust is like the smoothest pathway to yes. Don't believe me? I mean, would you say yes to someone you don't trust? Think about it. Number five. And again, they are the 5 keys to unlock any conversation. Number 5. Mambo number 5. No, I'm not going to sing. Number 5 is the future feature. Yeah, it's, it's not random that that's a movie, like a feature. Yeah. Right. The future feature, because talking about future plans opens up conversation pathways. It really just opens the door to all kinds of new topics. And this is especially useful. Asking about future plans is especially useful for people you already know and see regularly. Think friends, coworkers, family, etc. The regular suspects. It's an open question and always offers new topics. So you want to ask about future plans. What are you doing next week? What are your plans for quarter 3? Oh, we're already in quarter 3. Oh no, yeah, quarter 3. Elizabeth, the heat is getting to me. Oh, maybe we should go back to that heat topic. What are your plans for quarter 3? Just a few more days left of summer. How are you going to stay cool? What are your plans? Any last minute trips? Future feature focus. Now it's 12:24. So as I said, I'm trying to keep these short and sweet and between 20 and 30 minutes. And we're right in that sweet spot there. So I want to finish up here. Do you want the notes? I have notes. I'll send you the notes from this session so you can have them to look back on. Little visual learner, visual trigger. I got you covered. Just leave a comment with the word notes below or send me a message. I'll hook you up right away. Also, if you have questions, specific questions you'd like me to respond to, maybe a personal experience you had, or maybe you try one of these and it doesn't work how you expect, or it works way better than you expect, leave a comment, send me a message. I'd love to know. Let's talk about it. And finally, if you've got 5 minutes, I encourage you to check out the companion piece to this. And that's the 5 pearls of wisdom, how to start, lead, and end conversations with confidence. I'm going to put a link to that inside. Wrong place to leave a link. 1 second. Mercy, I think I need studio support. Here's a link. And within LinkedIn, here, oh, I already gave the link. I gave the link before. So in LinkedIn, you're hooked up. You are good to go. That was just YouTube. I had to help out the YouTube streamers, the live streamers. Hey, I see you there. I see you. Thanks for joining. So love to have you here. And please remember to connect with me. Connect with me on LinkedIn for more updates and valuable resources to help you thrive. Again, I'm Elizabeth from Talk with ECM, the Elizabeth Catherine Miller. Those are my initials, the ECM of Talk with ECM. And I'll see you next time. Ciao.